Hey everyone, welcome back. Yasaf here, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of connecting Book Like a Boss to Google Sheets through the power of webhooks and Pabbly Connect. Now, essentially, this is the third video in the series of training videos that we created for Book Like a Boss webhooks feature. The first one was a brief explanation about the difference between webhooks API and Zapier apps. The second video was about Integrately, how to do exactly the same thing with Integrately. And this video is about Pabbly Connect. Now, I'm going to assume that if you are a Pabbly Connect user rather than Integrately, you probably skipped the previous video. So I'm quickly going to show you where are the right places to add webhooks to your Book Like a Boss account. So the first place will be through the Auto Settings and Integration screen. And from here, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll have the option to manage webhooks. So as you can see, I already have my Integrately webhook here, and I can simply click on Add and enter a new one. So this goes to tell you that you can have more than one webhook in place. You can have multiple webhooks in place and trigger automations with different platforms. Now, this webhook, like this page here, it's a global setting. So it will run with any booking or any event that's basically created, cancel, or reschedule for all of your services. However, if you want to trigger an automation or a certain webhook just for a specific automation, so you can go to your product and services page, you can click on the edit button, and here at the top, you have the new icon to add webhooks. So if you want to run a specific webhook for this specific booking type, and a specific webhook will basically mean a very different automation. I'm not talking just about maybe different name, and then we can run some filters, but I'm talking about completely different automation. Maybe send the information directly to another app, maybe use completely different automation or completely different processes. Then you can simply clear off or tick off the global option from here. And here you can add a webhook that is specific to this product or service. Okay, so I am going to use the global option here. And the scenario for this use case will be to book a meeting, to use a coupon code. So I will also be able to show you how to split a certain text as part of the booking type. This question has been brought up in the discussion, how to split a certain text from the meeting information. So you will be able to maybe run different actions or tag based on coupon or other things within your different apps. So I will show it to you as part of the booking process. And then all the information will go here to the Google Sheet, simply because this is the most common app to use. You, of course, can use any other app that's supported by Pabbly Connect. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to Pabbly Connect and click on Create Workflow. And from here, I'm simply going to name the workflow send Book Like a Boss event to Google Sheets. And then I'm going to click on Create. So the trigger, the first part of the automation will be to capture a webhook. So we'll take it from here. And here, Pabbly provides us with an address that we need to copy and paste into Book Like a Boss. So I'm simply going to click on Copy. I'm going to go back to Book Like a Boss. I'm going to click on Add here, and I'm going to paste the URL. Now, it's very important to paste the URL before you select the events here. The reason is, as soon as you select the events, Book Like a Boss will automatically save and refresh the page in the backend. And then if you first select the events, this row will simply be deleted and hidden from view because there is no address. So make sure that you paste the address first, then select the events. Okay, and as you can see, as soon as I select the event, I have a message right here on the right-hand side that the webhook has been updated. Okay, so we have a webhook set up. It's global webhook, and we are ready to basically send the information to Pabbly Connect. So in order to send the information, I'm going to go back to the meeting description. I'm going to click on this page and this link to bring up the page. I'm going to select a time and date for the meeting, enter my personal information. So I will simply say, and I will use an email address. Let's say it's a fake address, of course, right? And then I'm simply going to take this coupon code that I've created. You're going to paste it here, and I'm going to click on apply. And then you can see that the coupon has been updated. I have all the information I need here. I can click on book me to book the meeting. So as soon as this is done, I can switch to Pabbly Connect, and you can see that I already have the information of the meeting captured by Book Like a Boss. So we have the type, which is booking created, what we're looking for. And we have the service provider. In this case, this is me, email and names. And this is useful if you have a company account. Then if you have multiple seats or service providers, you will know who is the service provider or the coach or the teacher that the service has been booked with. Super important. We have the booking ID, we have the package name, we have the customer name, full name, first and last, customer information. We have the price, we have the coupon code, we have duration, and so on and so forth. So now, once we have all the information in the webhook, we would like to move forward and set up the action steps. But with Pabbly Connect, we have to set things up in a different sequence. The reason is that we will not be able to add a router step or a condition that will trigger the automation based. So now that we have all the information here, from Pabbly Connect, we want to move forward and to set up the action steps in Pabbly Connect. But we have to do it in a slightly different sequence than what we did with Integrate. The reason is, with the Integrately demo, we've created two different scenarios. One for when the meeting was booked and the other for when the meeting was canceled. And with Integrately, we can simply add a condition to check, and the automation will update automatically, and all the relevant steps will be put into the filter or the router. But with Pabbly Connect, if we want to check for a condition, for example, if we want to check if the action is meeting booked or meeting canceled, we have to do it right from the start because we cannot add the router in the middle of the automation. If we will do it, we will have to build up all the automation from scratch again. So I will start here by adding a router step first. Okay, this will allow me to save time down the line as I check for certain conditions. So we have two different routes here. The first route will be, I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to say booking created. That will be the first router. That will be the first option. The second option will be booking canceled. And we will modify accordingly the steps. So now I'm going to click on the first action. I'm going to click on set filter and action steps, which will allow me to dive into this specific router sequence. And then the first path or the first sequence for booking created, I will simply choose the event type here needs to be equal to booking created. That means that this sequence I'm going to save and test. Okay, so this will run, condition is true. That sequence will only run when our customer actually go ahead and book a new meeting with us. And then once this is true, once a new meeting has been booked, I'm simply going to click on the plus step, and I'm going to choose Google Sheet as the target application. And from here, I'm going to say add a new row. I'm going to choose my account, click on save. And from here, I'm going to make sure that my spreadsheet is selected, the Book Like a Boss demo. And if it's not selected, let's make sure that your book is selected. The worksheet is correct. I only have one worksheet. And then I'm going to map the information from the webbook. I'm going to map the data to the relevant row. So order ID is booking ID. Okay. Customer email is customer email. And then I have first name and the last name here. In the status, since we're working with new created booking, I'm simply going to type in created because this is the status. It's a new status. I am going to map the full coupon code, and then I will show you how to slice and dice it. So the coupon code short will be coming up next. And the platform, I'm simply going to type Pabbly, right? So I'm going to click on Save and Test. And we have a success message right here. I'm going to switch to the Google Sheets, and here we have the new meeting successfully added. So the next part that I would like to show you is how to use a coupon code. So for example, my use case is I often sell on Fiverr. I sell my services on Fiverr. And then if I want to exclude certain customers because I'm not allowed to follow up with them outside of Fiverr. So if my coupon code, for example, includes Fiverr or starts with Fiverr or something like that, I want to exclude them from automation. I want to stop everything from taking place. Other options can be if you have coupon code for certain target audience or campaigns or whatever, and you would like to capture them, maybe manipulate some text, create tags on your CRM or autoresponder. So this is how you would do it. This is how to use the text formatter in Pabbly Connect in order to capture just substring of the data. So we're going to scroll up. I'm going to add one more action step before our Google Sheets step. And this step is basically text formatter. I'm going to choose this. The event will be split text. And I'm going to send from the webhook, the text to split, I'm going to send the full coupon code here. And then the separator here, in this case, I set it up as 0. In Book Like a Boss, we can only create coupons with letters and characters. So if I cannot add an underscore or something like that, I simply add 0. And it's a great option for me to have a delimiter and an identifier to split the text. And the segment that I would like to take is the second segment. So in this specific example, second and last is pretty good. The difference is if you have a string that has multiple delimiters, like the separators happen more than once, so second will bring up the second segment and last will bring back the last segment. But in this specific example, I'm going to use second as it will slice and dice after the 0 character. I'm going to say save and test. And now we have demo as the result of this text formatting gap. Okay, again, we've sent free 0 demo. We told Pabbly Connect that the delimiter is 0 and bring back everything that comes back after 0 and received demo in return. So now I'm going to go to the coupon short and I'm going to map the result from the previous step, which is demo. And I'm going to save and send the text one more time. And we have successfully received that info right here. So what happens if our customer cancel the meeting? We would like to take a certain action, for example. So how do we do that? We do that by going to the second router option, clicking on Set Filter and Action Steps. And from booking type, I'm simply going to type manually booking cancel. In this case, when a booking has been canceled, either by us or by our customers, again, a webhook will be triggered because this is what we set up in the webhook, and Pabbly Connect will know to capture the information and then to start this specific sequence. So once this sequence starts, first of all, we need to identify the row here in Google Sheet, the row that we need to update to cancel. We do that by adding let's save first, okay? And of course, here the condition is false because we did not send that demo information yet. But the first thing we need to do is to go to Google Sheets. And the action will be Lookup spreadsheet rows. I'll click on Connect, choose my credentials, click on Save. And from here, I now have the option to, first of all, verify that I'm working with the right spreadsheet and with the right worksheet. And then I have the option to look for columns, right, and values. So if I'll go to that Google spreadsheet here, the column that I would like to search is column A, because I'm going to work with orders ID. Again, this is slightly different from Integrately because the options are slightly different in Pabbly than in Integrately. So if you've seen the Integrately demo, you know that it's working a little bit different. I have the option to choose columns and search by a combination of more than one column. This is not an option with Pabbly, so I'm simply going to choose column A to search by order ID. So here, I'm going to type A. This is the column to look for. And the value is booking ID. So basically, we will search for the order ID in column number A. And in order to clear up non-relevant data, Book Like a Boss will not send two different rows with the same order ID because technically it won't be possible. So I'm going to clear out the first test that I did. Okay? The second test was a duplicate. I'm going to clear out the first duplicate, the first demo, because it's not relevant for the purpose of this demo. So now I have a lookup column. I have a lookup value. I'm gonna keep include headers and response as true, because it will be easier to map up and map out that information to the next step. And I highly recommend that for this action, if you are going to use Google Sheet, use sort value from the bottom, because as more and more booking will come in, the list will become very long, and it will make more sense that if something is canceled is the most recent one, then it makes more sense to search from bottom up rather from top to bottom. And again, this is only relevant if you are indeed going to integrate with Google Sheets, and then click on Save and Test Request. And now we have response received, we have the information, and we have that what we have found is that the response is in row number 6, which is indeed the case. This is row number 6. And now we're simply going to add one more step right here to Google Sheets. And this step will be to update a row. Click on Connect, verify the credentials. And here in row index, I'm simply going to choose the row index from the previous step. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to choose row number 6. And I am going to go to status and I'm simply going to type cancel. Okay, I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm going to click on save and test. And now we see that indeed this has been canceled. So the process, and it will be similar also with CRMs or autoresponders with the required changes. If you will want to update a contact, there's a good chance that you will first need to search for the contact and then update with an additional tag or filter and automation. Some application will allow you to simply update the contact or remove a contact. Some will require you to search for the contact first so you will have the ID. And this is why I'm demonstrating the process here for you. Once this is done and everything is good to go, and we've tested, the automation is on, the process is on. If I will go back to the workflows, you can see that this is on. Even in the dashboard, we can see that the automation is turned on. And all that's left for us is to refresh this page here and try one more time and see that we actually can receive the information as expected. So let me choose a time slot here, enter my name. Everything's good. You can click on book me. And the meeting is booked now. Webhooks are will work instantly. So let's switch to Book Like a Boss here. And we can already see that we have a new row with the information and everything is created and working fine. So now I can simply go back to my dashboard, view the relevant meeting and cancel it. And again, a webhook will now trigger. If we go back to Google Sheet, the event is already updated and processed and the meeting is canceled. So this is it. This is how you will connect Book Like a Boss through webhooks and Pabbly Connect. In this video, it was demonstrated through Google Sheet as the result, but this exact same process will work with CRM, autoresponders, or any other billing app or thing that you would like to use. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to me or comment in the video. I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you may have. Thanks for watching.